Good evening. This is Yosei Sakura, the cherry blossom fairy of positivity. And I want to welcome everyone who has stopped by my stream today. I'm very glad that you are all here. I really appreciate it. And I really hope that you will enjoy your time here. Today's stream is about finding hope and inspiration. There are times when each of us can feel stuck. This is usually due to a lack of or a decrease in our hope or our motivation. This lack can directly affect how we feel, and it'll also influence the way that we perceive the world around us. In this stream, I will be going over some ways that you might try to find hope and inspiration in your life. But first, I'd like us to examine some of the things that might chip away at your hope or your inspiration. As I go over each one, I will also include some ways that you might try to be able to remedy the situation, or at the very least, notice some kind of improvement. The first one is fear. Now, although fear is a normal human emotion that can assist us with avoiding potential dangers, too much or unhealthy amounts of fear can make it difficult to find or be able to see the good, which will cloud your judgment and make it harder for you to see the things that you might have that could inspire you or bring hope in your life. Now, some ways around that. Give yourself some time to brainstorm other possible outcomes. And while you're doing this, do it without judgment. That is very important. Because let's face it, we all get overwhelmed at times. And this can take a toll on the way that we feel and perceive things. You could try talking to a trusted person about your fears to get some unbiased and objective feedback. Maybe they might come up with a suggestion or a solution that you haven't thought of. You never know. It might make all the difference. So if you are overwhelmed by fear, give this a try. The second, trying to always put on a brave face and not let others see what you are feeling yourself. Like if you are not feeling yourself, or maybe you're feeling somewhat overwhelmed. Not letting others know that you are struggling or having a difficult time will only cause you more harm in the end. Because we all need to know that we can turn to someone when things get tough. We all need that security. Now allow yourself to feel and express your feelings. Do not hold it back. This is very unhealthy, and it can have mental and physical effects as well. Sorry about that. When you hold it in for too long and keep everything bottled up, those emotions will eventually come bubbling out, and usually not in a healthy way, and not at an appropriate time. You might even take it out on someone who has nothing to do with it. I know that's happened to me. If I've bottled things up, then someone might say something that just hit me the wrong way, and I might have snapped back at them in the moment and then immediately gone back and said, "Oh, I'm sorry. It's not you." And then I tell them what was going on and how I was feeling. Now, number 3, feeling that you or your life does not have purpose or meaning. Or maybe you are just struggling to remember what you felt your purpose was. If this starts to happen to you, try to think about what is important to you. If it helps, make a list of all the things that are important to you. Ask yourself, what are you passionate about? What things bring you joy? Once you have answered these questions, you can try to find or make a way to include these things in your life. And if you start to feel hopeless, please seek professional help to help you navigate these feelings. There is no shame in needing to see a professional for help. You matter and your life has value. Please always remember that. Some other things that you might try that can help to inspire yourself might be to take some time and to get out in nature. I mean, really immerse yourself in it. Take some time to go to the park, or go on a hike, or just even take a long walk outside. I know in some parts of the country it can be very cold. So bundle up if you are in one of those regions. And while you are doing that, really be mindful of all the things going on around you. Things like, what animals do you see? Do you hear any birds singing? Is it warm or cold outside? What are some of the things that you are smelling in the air? Really take in all the things that nature has to offer. Sometimes this simple thing in itself might be just the thing that could inspire you. Maybe you could do some kind of volunteer work in your neighborhood or in your community. Is there anyone who might need some help with errands? Or is there an organization you are part of that might need some extra help? You could always ask, and if they do, try to volunteer some time. You can also ask your religious leaders if they know of or need any volunteer work done. Helping others can truly improve your mindset, which in turn can improve the way that you perceive things. I want to tell you a little story about a kindness that someone showed me the other day. And this really warmed my heart. It may seem like a small thing to some people, but to me, it was extremely appreciated, especially since my car was wrecked a few weeks ago, so I've had to be walking everywhere. So I was on my way home from the post office, and where I live, I have to cross a very busy road to get home. Usually I have to wait for quite a while to cross that road because of the traffic volume. But on this particular day, and during peak traffic time, mind you, a person was kind enough to stop their car so that I was able to cross. Now, this might seem like a small thing to you or even to them, but to me, something that I was very grateful for and that I appreciated so much. And as I was crossing, I made it a point to say thank you to let them know that I truly appreciate their kindness that they had shown me. Because for them, they smiled when I said thank you, but for me, that kindness was priceless. And it made both of us feel good. And that's the wonderful thing about being kind and compassionate. It makes both parties feel good. Now, small gestures like that can really help to put things into perspective when you might be struggling with something. It helps to remind you that the world is not always cold, isolating, and unforgiving. The acts of kindness also remind us there are still caring, selfless people in the world who truly care about their fellow humans without wanting anything in return for doing so. They act kind and compassionate just for the sake of being kind and compassionate. Now, how about any of you in the chat? Has anyone been on the receiving end of a random act of kindness lately? If so, how did it make you feel? What kind of reaction did you get? And how did doing a random act of kindness or showing compassion make you feel? I would love to hear about it. If you would just put it in the chat, we could talk about it. Now, I want you to remember that having hope can keep you going even in your darkest of times. The simple hope and belief that things will eventually get better, or at least somewhat improve, can often be enough to motivate us to just keep going and keep trying to push forward. It is important that each one of us has people in our lives that can help to inspire us and the things that we want to do. It's also important to have things that you do regularly that foster hope and compassion. Now, prayer is another wonderful example of something that you can do when you are feeling lost or alone. It is something that you can do on a daily basis, which can assist you with not only feeling like you are part of something greater than yourself, it can help to stop you from feeling alone and isolated. Because you can always ask God for help and give Him your burdens. He will help you to get through whatever struggles or hardships you may face. Now, there is a lovely scripture passage that illustrates this, and it's found in Psalms 68:19. And it reads, "Praise be to the Lord, to God our Savior, who daily bears our burdens. He wants us to give our burdens to Him." Anything that can help to inspire and bring hope is something that you should use when you are feeling down or unhappy. And turning to the Lord is a great thing that you can do, because He is always with us. He's always right beside us, even in our darkest of times. He is right there, walking through these situations with us, guiding us, and lifting us up to be able to keep moving forward. Now, when you practice gratitude, this can help to inspire and bring hope to you as well. being truly grateful for all of the blessings you have in your life. Practicing gratitude brings joy, and joy can help to improve your mindset and make it more positive, which in turn can help to inspire you. Being able to recognize the good and positive things around us, even in the midst of difficult times or chaos, can also help us to maintain hope. Having a gratitude journal is another wonderful exercise that you can do. And what you do with that is each day, write down things that you are grateful for or that made you smile that day. It can be anything, as long as it made you happy and you are grateful for the way it made you feel. Then just write it down, because that way when you're having a tough time or you are particularly struggling a great deal, you can go back and read all of the wonderful things that have fostered hope and inspiration in the past, and all the things that you have to be grateful for, because there is always something to be grateful for. Now also, understanding that you are deserving of happiness and being loved and cared for can also foster hope. We are all deserving of happiness and of being happy. You can also choose to be happy, and this mindset has been proven to allow the person to be more compassionate and giving to others. Something that you may not have thought of that would help you to be happy is to admit and accept when things do not go the way you planned. This is important because it allows you to understand that things are not always as simple as we might think they should be, or as easy as we might want them to be. But being able to adapt and change direction in the face of obstacles can be a great benefit. Think of it this way. When something does not work out, it is not that you failed. You simply found out what does not work. So instead of getting down on yourself or feeling hopeless about it, just go back and think about different ways that you could accomplish your goal. Because you didn't fail. You just found out what does not work in this situation. Now, if anyone has examples of things that bring you hope or inspiration, I would love to hear about it. Please put it in the chat. Now, getting back to being able to accept when things do not turn out the way that you have planned. I have some experience in this. I have not always been the positivity fairy that I am now. I have had my share of struggles and disappointments as well. One such time was when I had been in a very difficult relationship. During that time, I had felt that I was not worthy of love or happiness, partly because I felt so utterly alone and helpless in and about my situation. And having been convinced that everything that was going on was my fault and that I deserved it, didn't help the matter. It just made things worse. Because this was a very unhealthy time, and it was a very unhealthy mindset. But thankfully, I was able to connect with some other individuals who were supportive and really understood the situation and were able to give me some advice and guidance and the ability to look at it from another perspective. And they were slowly able to convince me to begin to rebuild my self-esteem and my self-image. And the first steps that I needed to take to make that dream a reality was to leave the unhealthy situation that I was in. And like I said, I was fortunate that one of my close friends was able to help me with how and when to leave so that I could realize my dream and begin the very slow task of rebuilding my life. Don't get me wrong, this was a terrifying time, and I really do understand what it's like to be trapped by fear and a lack of hope or inspiration, or feeling like nothing's ever going to get better. But it does. And as you can see, I did leave that unhealthy situation behind me. But the hardest part was not the leaving. It was and still is at times the struggle with my self-image. But one thing that I can say for certain is that I came out much stronger than I was, and I found a new sense of purpose. And that was to help others to find the positives in their life and to become the positive fairy of the cherry blossom fairy of positivity. Remember, there is nothing that you cannot accomplish if the desire to do so is great enough. This is why I am so passionate about spreading positivity, one stream and one video at a time, because I truly believe in my heart that it can make a difference and that everybody can make a difference in someone else's life. We all have a purpose. Every one of us matter. Your lives matter. You are important. The world needs more positivity in it. You can also bring positivity to others as well with your love and your compassion. We all have things in our past that haunt us and remind us of our past mistakes and things that we wish that we could go back and do over. But that's not how life works. That is not a possibility. There's no magic time machine to let you go back and have a do-over. So to all of you who might be struggling with your present or past mistakes or errors in judgment, I want to tell you from experience that you can get through it. You will be much stronger for it. The circumstances that you are struggling with now are building resilience for tomorrow. Keep pushing forward, and you will get through it. Just take it one step at a time. Even the littlest bit of progress is still that. It is progress. You are moving forward. Our past is a part of our story, sure enough. But it does not have to define who we are if you don't want it to. You can accomplish great things no matter what your past self might have experienced. Do not let anyone ever tell you that you are not good enough, or you are not pretty enough, or not smart enough. Remember, you are perfect, just the way you are. You are beautiful. You are brave. You are strong and a wonderful person. Your life is worth living. And you, my friends, you all matter. I want you to also remember that unfortunately, bad things do happen to good people. And sometimes it is through experiencing those things that we find our true inner strength and resilience. A renewed sense of purpose to help others and to stop others from feeling bad about things that were out of their control. Remember that even in the darkest of times, you are never truly alone. God, like I said before, is right there beside you, helping to get you through whatever you might be dealing with at the moment. The fact that you are able to wake up each day is reason enough to celebrate, because too many people were not afforded that chance. So be grateful and be thankful for your life and all of your experiences, both the positive and the negative ones. Because it is through these experiences that you have become the person who you are today. And you are a survivor. You are a wonderful person. Please do not lose hope for a better tomorrow. There is one out there. Do not let fear of your situation or the world around you rule your life. Every day that we get up, remember, this is a fresh start. It gives us the chance to work towards our dreams and our passions. That alone can inspire you and can bring you hope for a better tomorrow. Because if you see something you don't like, work towards changing it. Be hopeful that your actions can make a difference, because they do. Everybody's actions make a difference. If we all just took it upon ourselves to do one kind or compassionate thing each day for another person, without wanting anything in return, what a wonderful place the world would be. Now ask yourself, what do you feel passionate about? Is there something that you've always wanted to do, but you've always seemed to be afraid to try? If there is, I want you to believe in yourself and give it a try. And if it doesn't work out, find another way to try. Keep trying until you succeed. And with each new try, you've gained valuable experience and information. Because like I said earlier, even if it doesn't work out the way you thought it would, you have gained experience. You've gained the knowledge of what doesn't work, so that you can go back to the drawing board, start to think about it again, and try a different path or a different way to reach that goal. But you will get there. Believe in yourself. Believe in your ability. You can do it. I have faith in you. And when you believe in yourself, you can accomplish anything. There's a saying that I like to use to inspire myself. If you can dream of it, you can become it. And if you can become it, you can make it a reality. So dream your dreams. Become your dreams. Make them a reality. I hope that you have enjoyed my stream and that you will come back on Saturday for my stream about games for self-care, where I will be starting to play the game Stray. I hope you come see me try to get this little one back home and all the adventures that we can get into. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know a whole lot about the game, but I love cats and I've seen the trailers for it. So I figured, what better way on a self-care Saturday than to do something for self-care? And for me, that would be this game. If anyone would like to tell me something that they would like to do for self-care, I would love to hear about it. And if you've got anything that inspires you or brings you hope, please put it in the chat. I would love to talk to you about it. I hope that everyone had a good time at the stream, and I really appreciate everyone who came out. I hope to see you all back on Saturday. And as always, this is Yosei Sakura saying, have a wonderful day. Stay positive.